We were first introduced to Stonecroft Homes during last year's Norton Commons New Home Show. And we had toured several of the other builders' homes before we entered the Stonecroft home. And we first went in the front door of that palazzo. We were completely blown away at the level of detail and the craftsmanship that we saw just from the entryway. We continued to tour the house and just saw that was consistent throughout the entire home. After we toured the entire house, we met with Jason, and Jason informed Alexa and I that the details that we were seeing in that house were standard for the Stonecroft built homes, and they weren't upgrades as we saw in so many of the other houses, if we even saw those details at all. So we set up a meeting with Jason, and Jason showed up to the meeting with a pen and a piece of paper, and we started a dialogue. He said, just what would be important to you? What are the important features of a home if you were going to have one built? And we told him all the great stuff that we had hoped to ever have. And once we had a design that worked for us and we all agreed upon, Stonecroft gave us a list of their suppliers. We began to meet with the suppliers, and each one of those suppliers and craftsmen were wonderful in taking our hand and guiding us through the selection process. Oftentimes we weren't exactly sure we knew what we wanted, and during those times, those suppliers were wonderful enough to kind of lead us, show us what we wanted, and sometimes we even told them what we wanted, and they were able to redirect us into something that was much more workable with the design elements that we had already chosen in the house. Once the building process started to take place and the hole was first dug, I met Zach out here at the job site on that first day, the day that they were actually pulling the dirt out. And I learned then that Zach was being assigned as our project manager. We live very close by here, and so we were able to come by the building site almost daily. And on many occasions, we would see things that might concern us or we would have questions about, and we would pick up the phone and call Zach. And Zach, I could count on a single hand the number of times that he didn't take the call, and during those times he would always call within the hour. We've been very pleased with the process. We came in very, very close to the budget that we had set forth. We came in very close to the time that we were told it was going to take to construct the house, and the overall experience was one of pleasure, because everyone that we had talked to that had ever gone through the process of building a house always told us of all the horror stories, the over budgets, the overtime, and all the horrible things that were going to happen, and we did not experience those things that we had heard so much about. So we would absolutely tell any of our friends or people that we would meet of our pleasant experience, and we would certainly recommend Stonecroft Homes to any family that is looking at building their new home.